Well, what do I think are the important things for living? Obviously, not so much my phonetic alphabet, but the recording just before the last one. Guess that sums it up, the overview. But from a practical point of view, let me just list things that I've found terribly helpful. A largely fruitarian diet and being vegetarian. Cautious exercise, not extreme weightlifting or yoga or pursuit of some sport, but something, regular practice. I haven't done it this morning, actually. It's 6 o'clock now. I haven't done my what I call Kriya breathing, triangular breathing I really call it, but it's something like what Kriya is sometimes referred to in Eastern religion, where you breathe slower and deeper. And I've gone through that in detail in some earlier recordings. Thanking God, of course, has been major, absolutely major with me, for miraculous consequences, astonishingly miraculous consequences. The practice of thanking God for all that's good and extending it gradually to things that don't seem so good, but you're going to trust Him for because of seeing God as Dad, of course. You might see God as Mum, Divine Mum, or increasingly you may see God simply as dearest friend who dwells in you always. That's an incredibly helpful concept. Becomes a reality with you, with practice. An incredible blessing too. Choice of good environment, good company, good literature, good media, good influence, incredibly important. Your friendships and who you relate with have perhaps the major effect on you. The environment you choose, and increasingly, of course, in the modern world, we're finding people are spending much time on their devices, computers and phones and so on. You can choose wisely and make it an incredible blessing. Or you can wander haphazardly down a million byroads and get lost in too much unhappiness, quite honestly. So be very careful to be blessed. Choose you this day whom you'll serve. Incredibly important, that. Well, I'm not sure if there's anything else that's fundamentally anything like as important as these things. Bless you. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Classic lack, isn't it? Not seeing the wood for the trees. Yes, the practice is very important, but the goal is everything. Without the goal being right, what's the goal? to see Dad as your to see God as your Heavenly Dad. This is life eternal, to know Thee, the only true God. Sure, we need the way, but it's the way to that. So, I've been preoccupied in this tiny recording, 5 minutes, with the way. But it's the goal that counts. From the Jesus understanding of things, to see God, your God, as your Heavenly Dad, and therefore you as child. Well, I'm tempted to say is everything. Is everything. I mean, you may have adapted it to Divine Mum, or you may see it as dearest friend. But it's that relationship of nearness and loving kindness that's everything. And that's the essence of the Jesus story. It's the essence of Hinduism too. The whole of chapter 11 of the Bhagavad Gita is focusing on who God is, because this is life eternal, to know Thee, the only true God. Hang on a sec. Now, don't get me wrong, both religions have missed the boat, as has Buddhism. I mean, Buddhism has, in reality ended up worshipping the Buddha. But that's a picture of a very, in a sense, of a very finite historic being, which is of course incredibly bounded, just as the historical Krishna or the historical Jesus is incredibly bounded in a story form of life and events and such, in some sense encompassing all of God. But of course, God is infinitely more than that. All three major religions in that sense have lost their goal. They've ended up worshipping some divine incarnation of such, which is extremely short-sighted and commits the error of worshipping the teacher. Jesus' guidance is call no man teacher, no man master. Our teacher is the Holy Spirit, and our God is, in Jesus' terms, our Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.